Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister, notorious BTC. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. It's spring here. Today is July the 17th, 2018. It is the All-Star game in Major League Baseball. It's going on right now. I used to love to watch this. I'm not watching it today. Strong hand, long-term thinking, deferral of gratification, unconfiscatable, offended by selling. And yes, this is a day you have to remember that you are offended by selling and that you have a strong hand, okay? A day like, I'm sure a lot of you are very happy for some reason today, and you can be happy. That's great. But we're going to get into that in a second. Check out the links below. Everything I talk about in this video is linked below. Get your Trezor Letter Nano, cryptohwallet.com t-shirts. Okay. So, as I've always said, all the long-term viewers, all the long-term thinkers, I have said it many times. There are going to be days, for those of you who care about the fiat price, where it goes down by $1,000. There are going to be days when it goes up by $1,000. You can't get too carried away with it. You can't have a weak hand when it goes down and then I gotta sell. Same thing. If it goes up in terms of fiat, you can't have a weak hand either and say, oh, time to sell now. I'll just buy it back for cheaper. Oh, it's a sign from above, TA, blah, blah, blah. No, you have a strong hand. The only number you care about is 2020. Or, I mean, you don't even have to care about that. Care about 2024, 2028. Learn about the halving. Learn about what that is and think long term. These are days where you can get caught up in emotion and panic sell. And yeah, sure. I mean, again, if you're a long-term thinker, of course you knew it was going to go up in fiat value, Bitcoin. Of course. If you've been watching this show, of course there are going to be days when it goes up $1,000, $700, whatever. I don't even know what went up. Okay? So keep everything in perspective. Level-headed, just think long-term. You still have as many Bitcoin as you did yesterday. Well, at least you do if you weren't trading it and you thought it was going to go down and had all these nonsense shenanigan trades set up that got totally blown up because the price went up a lot today. That's why you don't trade. So you don't have to worry about things. You value your wealth in Bitcoin. On a day like this, it's hard to say, isn't it? Because you're like, oh, it went up in fiat. So no, these are the days where the strongest of the hands say, I value my wealth in Bitcoin. I still have as many Bitcoin as I did yesterday. And that is the moral of the story of today. Pound that freaking like button. It got up to like 90 degrees here in Edmonton today, and they're going crazy. This is like a wild heat wave for them. For me, it's like compared to my summers in Baltimore, it's quite pleasant, actually. It's not humid here. It's very nice. They're all eating ice cream out there. Oh my God. Oh, they're not used to this 90-degree stuff or whatever they call it in Celsius. I'll never know. Oh God, us Americans and our Fahrenheit. Oh, yeah, we're addicted to it. Okay, what's next here? This tweet, it reminds me of the glory of the year 2020 as it approaches. This is by Crypto Bitlord. Eventually, you will need to accept the fact that Bitcoin was hard-coded to pump. Number one, every 4 years, the supply cuts in half, the new supply. Number two, every single day, more and more people want to buy it. Hashtag quick math. Again, so many people do not know about the halving aspect of Bitcoin. But as we approach the halving, as we saw in the year 2016, in the spring of 2016, as we approach the summer of 2016 in the halving, we got a snapshot of what happens when the 80%ers and everybody else starts finding out, oh, wait, there's something called a halving? The new supply gets cut in half. If you're a holder, it's quite glorious when that revelation comes over everyone. But again, if you watch this channel, you're familiar with what the halving is, with that concept. But you watch all the nonsense out there, which is like 80% of the stuff out there. You have no idea what that is, and you're just buying some random altcoin anyway, and you're like a Ripple fan. God. Ripple fans equals, don't know what a 2020 halving is, or 2024. Okay. So, you know, so with, despite, you know, Bitcoin going up in fiat value is something that you think the mainstream media, they could grasp that because they don't understand, you know, they don't understand that 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. By the way, I know there's a lot of people in chat right now. You do the super chat, I answer your questions. I love you all over there. I see it moving around and stuff. But the mainstream media today, if you're paying, I mean, even if you were paying attention, it was tossed in your face that they had a story for all the panic prisoners out there. Yeah, that Trump said something about Russia. So all the 80% of the world and then all the panic prisoners, the people who just get off in panic, they're just going in circles now. Oh my God, he said so. Oh my God, he said. Meanwhile, there's like real news out there that they could understand because fiat price rise in Bitcoin is something that I think 80%ers can understand. But no, that's not how. So we have to thank Hashem that we are not panic prisoners, that we are not 80%ers, that we're like, Trump says, who cares what that dude said? He's not the Lord. I mean, who cares? He said something. We know that what's going on in crypto. That's the news we follow here. And so we understand that something that the regular people can understand that was positive happened with Bitcoin today. That we can't get caught up in panic over Bitcoin. There's a panic prison in the Bitcoin world too. We call that people obsessed with technical analysis. They move trading and selling and worrying or no coin. They're so obsessed with the fiat price porn that they're just stuck in a panic prison. Oh, I can't buy now. I can't sell now. I can't believe it. Anyway, these same people that are either stuck in political panic prisons, which is much worse than valuing your wealth in, you know, worrying about the fiat price of Bitcoin. It's much worse to just be this panic-stricken person who is just worrying about these sociopathic political leaders than, you know, worrying about the fiat price. But now I just lost my darn train of thought there for a second. But anyway, yeah, the same, again, what I was going to say is the same people who are obsessed with Trump and all that, they're going to be the same one. Oh, it was unfair that you got into Bitcoin. I should have been able to get into it. We need to tax the people who own Bitcoin. Whatever. We in the Bitcoin overlay are looking down and all the panic prisoners today, and we're laughing. And we know what they're going to say in the year 2021, in the year 2020, whenever. They're going to be saying all these things out of jealousy because they were not in motion. They were worried about sociopaths. They were worried about what someone else was going to do for them instead of taking personal responsibility and doing something for themselves. We do things for ourselves. We understand personal responsibility is the new counterculture. And a counterculture means something that the mainstream does not embrace. The mainstream embraces being taken care of by these sociopaths, being worried about every little word they say, and then when they're still stuck in the same place they were 5 years ago, they make up stories and conspiracies and excuses why they're still poor and lazy and we're rich and in motion. Pound that like button. Continuing. Yesterday, I forgot to mention that poor Demeester pointed out how Coinbase says it has the green light to list coins deemed securities. It would be legally offered / exempt securities, and they would not be available to everyone. So a lot of people were saying, oh, Coinbase can list anything now. No, there's catches to this, okay? Tor explains it on his, link to it below, of course. Everything I talk about is linked to below. But Coinbase, I think people simplify things. They can't list all coins that are deemed securities. It's only be legally offered / exempt securities. And then they're not even going to be available to everyone. It probably depends on what state you're in, what country you're in. Anyway, that took some, needed to be clarified. Hey, I'm going to be on with Andy Hoffman, 11 a.m. on the World Crypto Network. That's Eastern time. That's 9 a.m. in Alberta and Denver. That's Mountain time. 8 a.m. in Los Angeles tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, Andy Hoffman, I'm going to be on with him. And he's actually going to be on with Thomas afterwards on the World Crypto Network. He's talking about Brodium. You know, Andy talks a lot about that. I actually brought up Brodium yesterday, and I was talking about unobtainium, and something I'm going to bring up on Andy's show. He asked me about Brodium. I don't know if we were talking about that. You know, I was comparing Brodium and unobtainium. If you're a Brodium fan, one thing you got to say is like it has the Bitcoin name, so that is a positive compared to like something called unobtainium. That was something I meant to say yesterday. Something I'll say if Andy, because the Bitcoin brand is the most valuable out there. That's why all the crypto dividends want it. You can't blame them. You can't blame them. Hey, and if we're getting it for free, we want them to be able to market themselves as well as possible. So yeah, they're not hurting the Bitcoin brand. Again, I've given the crypto dividend speech many times. I gave it in Calgary. I've given it on the show many different ways. No, crypto dividends are fine. They're free for it encourages people to hold. And to me, that is positive. It does not hurt. Everyone realizes that Brodium and Bgold are not Bitcoin. If you don't realize that, then I don't know what to say. You got to go back to square one. Let me learn how to send a Bitcoin, I guess. And remember, store your Bitcoin not on an exchange, at your storage device. They're there, your Trezor. Pound that like button. I like Trezors. And yeah, the digital Bitbox, the other one, the Ledger. I mean, Adam Meister's, that was a lot of experiments going on with storage devices. But I think everybody knows my favorite one, at least. All right, so where are we here? Okay. Oh, Bgold. I wanted to bring up Bgold, another crypto dividend of Bitcoin. They said we made a fix for a DLL vulnerability that affects Bitcoin and all coins that use Bitcoin's installer methods. We used this fix in a recent network upgrade and shared it for the rest of the community's benefit. I linked to that below. Hey, I think that goes on my point that these crypto dividends, that's a friendly fork of Bitcoin. They're actually doing things, finding issues that help everyone in the Bitcoin community. So again, will that pump the price? I don't know. Do we want the price of Bitcoin, of Bgold to pump? If we still have Bgold? Of course we do, because we got it for free. And we want to turn it into more Bitcoin. It's all about getting more Bitcoin. It's not about being a no-coiner and theorizing like crypto dividends are bad. Theoretically, because I don't have any Bitcoin and I can just, it's all theoretical. Yeah. I love those theoretical people with their philosophy they have, because they don't have any Bitcoin because they're a no-coiner by their philosophical standards. All right. What do we have? Yeah. Here's one. Oh, this is, yeah. Yesterday, it was funny. I was on Tour de Meester's Twitter feed yesterday, and he was a little down. He showed his TA chart, his technical analysis chart, and he pointed out how support had become resistance, and Bitcoin wasn't getting above the resistance line, and he was worried that it was still, Bitcoin was in a downtrend in terms of fiat. And of course, I was thinking like one Bitcoin equals one Bitcoin. I don't really give a darn. But again, if you value your wealth in dollars and you were betting on what Tour de Meester said, and he wasn't saying to bet on what he said, but probably some people do. No, the support or the resistance, the price popped through that resistance. Again, why did it do that? I have no idea. No one has any idea at this point. That's why you don't play these TA games unless you're a real trader. And even if you're a real trader, you're going to lose a lot. I mean, it's not, I don't know what. Again, young men with lots of testosterone love to gamble, love that they get into motorcycle accidents, they OD on drugs that they thought they were, invincible. They do this stuff too. I can't stop you guys from doing it. To tell you the truth, if you're going to do TA and gamble on Bitcoin, it's better than doing a lot of coke and getting on a motorcycle at least. What can I say? Pound that freaking like button. And no, I've never been on a motorcycle in my life. I've never done coke either. And I never will do coke. I never will get on a motorcycle. I don't like those type of things. Motorcycle, man. I'm scared I die. I don't want to die on a motorcycle. Okay, what else do we have? Oh, Dash. Why am I bringing up Dash here? Why not? Well, I'm bringing up Dash for two reasons. First of all, ever since we had our guest from Venezuela on the show on the 4th of July, which is an awesome show. Check out the archives below at disruptmeister.com. Links are below. But anyway, Gabriel and Maximo and Jaime were on the show, and Dash got brought up, okay? And some Dash dudes, the show got retweeted by the Venezuelan crew, and I appreciate that. That was great. But some Dash people come up, and they're starting to attack Maximo and Amy, and you know what? It was especially their attacks on Maximo. This guy is taking a big risk being on the show, but he lives in Venezuela. I mean, he's in Venezuela anyway. I can understand why the Dash people are defensive. They got way too defensive, way too emotional, and the tweets regarding this situation, that was July 4th. I'm still being included on them, and it's July 17th. It's 2 weeks later. But anyway, I stumbled upon a tweet by a guy named George Donnelly, who is a libertarian guy. He's a pretty emotionless guy. He's a brass tacks kind of guy, and he gets down to business real quick. And he had a Dash tweet that is not emotion, it has no emotion. It's pretty cold, hard facts. So because, again, these Dash guys, they start ripping on Bitcoin people, and, it gets emotional. It's not enough facts. It's a lot of name calling stuff. I mean, not all of them, but in these threads that I'm included in to this very day, 2 weeks later. Anyway, the point is, here's what George said, George Donnelly, and I linked to this below. Dash will never distinguish itself and revert, and he's a Dash fan. Dash will never distinguish itself and reverse its decline by trying to out-crypto other cryptos. Showing off real mass adoption results in Latin America is how Dash changes the story everyone is telling about us. He calls Dash us. Mass adoption is the next step. We can do it first. Hashtag DashPay, hashtag Dash Latam, which is Latin America. And he's correct there. And he's asking a lot of Dash. He's saying that Dash is going, that people everywhere, or at least in Latin America, are going to want to make small financial transactions, buying coffee, buying shirts, retail transactions. Instead of using their fiat, instead of using their credit cards, they are going to have to use Dash in order for Dash, which is digital cash, it makes sense, to be a success. Dash is not going to out-crypto other cryptos. It's not going to be able to do magical privacy and store. It's not going to be the gold. It's not going to be the Bitcoin. It's not going to beat Bitcoin, as a store of value. And again, he said the only way it's going to do, so their goal is a very high goal. And it can't just be people bribed to use Dash or anything like that. It's going to have to be real people. And again, I don't think the world at this moment in July 28, 2018 is asking, wants to spend cryptocurrency on everyday transactions. I don't think they want to. I don't think they're ready for it. What he's saying is that for Dash to be a success, it will have to fulfill that goal. And so we'll see what happens. And he is a Dash fan. So don't say he's trolling or anything. He's in charge of some Dash group in Colombia. He's one of those guys that's out there on the ground spreading the word about Dash, who really wants Dash people to use it. So again, I don't think Dash is a top tier altcoin. Okay, there's no doubt about that. Are they going to be able to attain this goal anytime soon? No, I don't think so. But this dude is trying. This dude is serious. They have people who seriously believe in it, who don't need to rip on Bitcoin, who don't need to out crypto other crypto people and prove it to show whose crypto is bigger than another guy's crypto. All right, pound that like that. So George, that's a good tweet. People can check that out below. And I forgot. Oh, here's a very. I was talking a little bit too. ICOs buying other ICOs. Tour de Meester had a tweet that quotes Adam back. Were you looking into researching how much of ICO funds are recursively invested in other ICOs? Could be an interesting risk metric. Great question. What's the amount of hidden leverage in the ICO ecosystem? Yeah, that is a great question. How many of these ICOs are saying, hey, invest in our company, we're going to be an awesome company, and then they're just using all the money to buy into other ICOs so they can, they think they can double their money or triple their money. How much of that is going on? I mean, that's not a good thought. That is it's a reason why you don't get into these ICOs. So speaking of ICOs, Identity.com was purchased by Civic today, and Vinny Lingham is behind Civic. So if you're all an ICO is a funding mechanism for a private company, basically. And Vinny funded his Civic this way, like with an ICO, and he's using some of this money to buy Identity.com. Well, I gotta say, that's better than spending on your ICO money on buying into other ICOs. You're buying something that's actually worth something. Identity.com is a very good domain. If Civic went belly up, they could sell it and get some of their money back. It also shows that Vinny back about a year ago, when everybody was worrying about Bcash, one of the points that Vinny brought up was that King of the Trolls owned the domain name Bitcoin.com. And if that there was going to be a competitor of Bitcoin that was pretending to be Bitcoin, Bcash, and it owned Bitcoin.com, that would be a very, very bad thing. Well, it turned out that wasn't, and I was a bit worried about that too, because of the background I come from too. And Vinny was not correct about that. But I will tell you this, he definitely believed that, because he definitely just paid a lot of money to get that Identity.com. Now, of course, he's using other people's money that he ICO'd and everything, but there you go. And I think for a company, it is important to get the correct URL, the best URL possible. Bitcoin doesn't care, though. You can pretend to be Bitcoin, own the Bitcoin.com thing, and I wonder in terms of other cryptocurrencies, is it going to really hurt them? Dash doesn't own Dash.com. Does that hurt them? Litecoin, they don't own Litecoin.com, do they? Does that hurt? Again, so we're into a new, in terms of domain value and domain importance, I'd say it's really important for your brand if you're a private company and everything. But if you're a cryptocurrency, not so much. It didn't bring Bitcoin.com, definitely has not at all hurt the true Bitcoin. I got to say that was a non-factor in all those worries when the Bcash crypto dividend was formed. And we got that for free, and that was freaking awesome. Pound that like button. The best holds were bought in bear markets. Are we still in a bear market? Who knows? But let me tell you this. Buy and hold, strong hand, long-term thinking. 2020, disruptmeister.com. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. Do check out the notes section below. I will see you guys later, and I'll say hi to you dudes in the chat right now. And yes, the All-Star game, probably the last time Manny Machado will be wearing an Orioles uniform. I hope all the Orioles fans who made it down to DC tonight cheered for him. Bye-bye. And said, oh, during the national anthem.